All right, it's going to be a recap here for this Thursday, 21st of September 2023. Really good day overall in both the indices and in our stocks. So let's take a look first at the mini NASDAQ. Mini NASDAQ actually started off the loss. I had a buy on the mini NASDAQ. I was a little concerned about the buy, but nonetheless, it was going opposite of all the other indices, which I've seen that, and I'm okay with that. And I was okay taking that buy trade, but unfortunately, there's just too much weakness in the market to hold it up and hit my target. So I ended up taking a loss on this initial trade. Then, it was about an hour or so later, a couple hours later, I did get a nice little HF2 short. Took the HF2 short, exited, took my profit right over here. About 30 minutes later, nice little trade on that, 45 minutes later. Then I ended up getting another HF1 short on that, ended up taking profit on that, and overall just had a really good day. I didn't get anything on anything else because everything was just going down. I wasn't able to really establish any trades on, I was looking at the mini Russell, I was looking at the E-mini S&P. There may have been a short on the E-mini S&P, but if there was, I missed it. I am starting to watch, also trade a little bit of crude oil. We'll take a look at that. I ended up getting out early because it was at the end of the day, but it looks like it may end up hitting the target probably tonight or tomorrow, but nonetheless, took a little bit of profit on the crude oil. But once again, I am starting to watch gold again, so gold back on the radar. Natural gas and crude oil, all right, with the indices, of course. So things are starting to heat up a little bit on the energy, so I want to go ahead, and the metals, so I want to go ahead and throw that in and start watching those as well. All right, let's take a look at our stocks. All right, so here we go for Yang. I just killed it today in Yang. Now, I do a couple things with Yang, also JDST, is I do put them into my retirement account, but those are I'm holding those positions for a while, but as far as the day trades, I do like to trade both Yang and JDST because they just seem to be slow grinders. And today was definitely an example of that. Coming out after the opening, I had a nice little HF2 buy in here, and I never really had to go through a lot of pains. And I really like what I was seeing. JDST was up as well. I went ahead and I added, which was interesting because the market was down, but there was definitely some strength, so that's a good sign. So anyway, I added onto my position. Then we ended up bouncing back up again. I added again. Okay, pay attention. You didn't want to show this because I've added again, and I was still waiting to go much higher on this. This is one of those where I did have much higher levels. So, and then I finally get out on HF1 kind of later in the day after 1 o'clock. So I went ahead, and on this HF1, I just added again. All right. And then we finally did hit a target over here. This was the target for HF1. This was not the target. I did have higher targets, but I wasn't going to carry this thing after the close. So didn't want to do... I didn't want to go into tomorrow with it, so I went ahead and I took my profit, but I just had a heck of a day in YANG. And let's take a look at one other stock, and then we'll look at our overall results. All right, so I want to show my losing trade as well on VTGN. So VTGN, I didn't get into this until around noon as we started to pick up. Now, I really liked the formation. I thought this was going to be. Now, really wasn't expecting this thing to just explode. But I was looking for some sort of pullback, and I really just was looking to play that pullback for 10, 15 cents. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. I got pretty darn close. I got in around 20, I think it was. I was just trying to get up to 30. And it pulled back right over here, and I went ahead and when it started firming back up after this, real thin though, but look at this, just nothing. But when I started seeing activity coming in, I thought, oh, okay, now we're going to go. I went ahead and added, and unfortunately, as soon as I added, it pulled back again. Went through my initial buy. Getting close to the end of the day, I just went and got out. I could have probably stayed in, but I don't like it. It's way too thin. I didn't want to risk it. So I ended up taking a loss. All right, so let's look at the overall results. So once again, just killed it in the mini NASDAQ, $12 on crude. Like I said, it wasn't moving. So, I mean, it was on its way to target, but it didn't happen before the end of the day, and I didn't want to carry it over. So anyway, got out of crude. Target on crude was 89.46, 89.46. I don't think it's hit it yet, but 89.46 was the target. But I went ahead and just got out anyway on crude. Killed it on the mini NASDAQ, of course. Big trade on YANG. This is my loss on BTGN. All of these others, SWIN, TECS, all of these were basically entering and exiting at the first target. All right. So, I did a little video. I recorded one of our trades tonight, or later on in the afternoon, on how I trade differently in the afternoon. Okay, so as we're going into power hour, which is going to be between 3 and 4 Eastern, my approach to trading is totally different than what I trade in the morning. Now, I am using the same tools, same patterns, but what I'm doing is I'm only going for that first target. I'm not trying to ride a real big run up. I'm basically just going for my targets, and I hit those targets a lot. All right, because it's a combination of the targets and Einstein. And typically I can do that in the afternoon, but usually you don't get these big runs. So I don't really need to go for 2 and 3 levels. I can get 2 and 3 levels, but I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for get in and get out of that first level, which is anywhere, usually could be 10, 20 cents, just depending on which pattern sets up and how far out it goes. But typically it's going to be that very first level. That's what I'm going to try to, that's what I'm going to try to target for. So not trying to get the big run. So that's something to keep in mind as, if you want to trade, in the afternoons, you have to have a little bit different strategy. All right. And so keep in mind that, just like in the middle of the day, the markets are quiet. In the morning, you have your highest volatility. And then you pick up a little volatility at the end of the day. But typically, the big volatility is, unless some sort of news event comes out or something, you're going to see that first thing in the morning. All right. So we're coming up on Friday tomorrow. Last Friday was a really good Friday. So there's no reason to think that tomorrow's going to be dead. So I really don't want to come in with that mindset. I do come in a little bit more cautious. All right. Now, particularly after a big day today, I have to be careful because usually after real big days, the market gets kind of choppy. So I am going to be aware of that. But once again, if the markets are hot, guys, this is when I push it. So, and that's where screen time is going to come in really, really handy is you may have some great tools, working with great tools, but you have to kind of understand the action of the market. And when it's hot, that's when you're going to hit it harder. When it's not so hot, that's when you're going to start backing up. So as you know, I haven't really been watching gold. I haven't been really watching any of the metals. Haven't been watching any of the energies. And just finally today, I finally got back in on crude. I am continuing to watch natural gas, and gold and the metals are back on my radar. So, you step aside when they're quiet, and then when they start heating up, you jump back in, take advantage of it, and then they're quiet, you get out. All right, so that's kind of what I do. So anyway, that's it. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Any questions? You can contact me via my website, innovativetradingstrategies.com. Everybody have a good day. See you tomorrow.